Welcome to the CAD Builder video tutorial series. For this video, we will focus on creating hardwoods and sheet goods, as well as managing their associated properties within CAD Builder's Materials Management module. So let's get started by navigating to the Materials Management tab on the main toolbar. Here, there are 4 subcategories or tabs to choose from on the left. They are Materials, Material Assignment, Material Finishes, and Warehouse. We will start by navigating to the Materials section. When you select the Materials icon, it will now take you into all of your material groups. Each material group is going to be organized into material types. In this video, we are going to cover adding and editing hardwoods as well as sheet goods. In the top left of the Groups section, you will notice a blank page called Create. Click on the Create button to start creating a new material group, which will allow you to filter and sort your materials into smaller sections, as well as give you the opportunity to add custom materials. You will now see a pop-up that says Create Materials Group. Here, we can enter our desired group name and click Create. Once you click Create, you will notice you are now within your new group. However, this group is empty. There are a few different ways to add products or materials to a group. To start adding materials to your group, we can go to the top of the screen and click on the blank page Create icon. Now that we are in the Create Material menu, we can select the material type that we would like to create. We're going to start at the top and create a board stock. Click on where it says Board, and then when the wood board icon appears, select the image on the screen. The Create icon will not appear until we type a name or description in the top left box. Go ahead and click on the indicated box and enter a material name. In this case, we will be adding 3/4 inch solid maple board. Next, select Create at the bottom of the dialog box. Now the material has been created, we see that it lacks a description and cost within the menu. When you select the material we just created by left-clicking on its name, we get a Materials Properties panel that appears on the right side of the screen. Now, in the Properties section, we can start by choosing a desired finish for this board. First, click on the grid icon in the Material Finish text box, and then the Finish Selection dialog box will appear. Here, you can scroll to see what finish you would like to select. For this example, I will open the Maple Medium Collection and select MPL 946 in the middle and hit the Select button at the bottom right to confirm. You will now see a preview of that finish at the top right in the Finish section. Right below that, you have the name and then the Common section. This one deals with the overall units, cost, and tax of the item. It is important to add a cost to this section so that when you pull your material reports at the end of your design, your cost along with the tax will be represented accurately on the report. For example, it will calculate your material usage plus the calculated waste and give you an overall material cost. In the next section, we will determine your preferred dimensions for the board stock. The critical dimension for board stock will be the thickness, which is especially important for our CNC users. The thickness describes the actual thickness of the stock, for example, 1.5 by 3.5. The nominal thickness is the ordered size, for example, 2 by 4. Nominal thickness is the standardized measurement, or 2 by 4, versus thickness, which is the actual dimension, 1.5 by 3.5, which varies based on the manufacturing process. Then you will also want to set the width and length of the board before we move on. The next section, Board, refers to the type of material as well as the estimated waste when using this material. It's very important to accurately represent your waste percentage so that your reports can calculate an accurate cost. The Group section refers to which group this is being used in. You can use the drop-down to quickly switch an item from one group to another. The last options in the Materials Properties are going to be the description and the tag, and this concludes all of the options for the board stock. Now we will create another material, this time choosing the category panel. So let's again select the paper icon at the top left and create a group titled Panel Oak. To start adding materials to your group, we can go to the top of the screen and click on the blank page Create icon and select Panel on the left. Within the Panel section, you will have the option to choose between plywood, MDF, melamine, hardboard, and particle board. For this lesson, we are going to choose plywood. At the top left text box, we will name this material half-inch ply oak and select the Create button at the bottom. Now, in the Materials Properties section, we can start by choosing a desired finish for this panel. First, click on the grid icon in the Material Finish text box, and then the Finish Selection dialog box will appear. Here, you can scroll to see what finish you would like to select. For this panel, we will open up the Oak Light collection and select Oak 1.362 and then the Select button at the bottom to confirm. Now you will see a preview of that finish at the top right in the Finish section. Right below the name is the Common section. This one offers the same items as shown when the board material was selected. It gives you the opportunity to set the overall units, cost, and tax of this item. Again, it's important to add a cost to this section so that the total amount will be represented accurately on the material report. When you were working on the board stock, you got a board section to define. Now you can see we have a panel section. The panel section will allow you to determine the type in the dropdown, as well as the grain direction and the finish orientation. Then you can set your waste percentage. The dimensions section for panel stock have some important differences as well. Width and length are very important because it defines the size of the material sheets. Thickness is also critical in order to be spot on for the CNC, since this determines the depth that the tool bit will go into the material, etc. In addition to creating materials, you can also copy materials. To copy materials, you would highlight the material you're intending to copy and click the copy icon at the top of the page. Then you will see the new line added to the list. Now we can go back to its material properties and rename it, resize it, or change the type of the item if I'm creating something for a different category. The main reason for copying versus creating a new material depends upon the material type being created. If it is a material that already exists within our database and you simply need to adjust sizing or pricing, it would be more efficient to simply create a copy. However, if you are creating a material from scratch that does not exist within our current database, it would be best to create a new one and edit from the ground up, thus allowing you to copy and edit it in the future. In this video, we discussed how to add new, set up, edit, and copy materials, as well as define their parameters within the Material Management tab. Our focus was on hardwoods and sheet goods. However, we will review other materials in future videos. Thank you for watching. To view additional video tutorials, please visit www.cabbuildersoftware.com/training.